Hello again and welcome to part 8 of Let's Play Spyro Reignited Trilogy, where we complete the second half of the Beastmaker's homeworld, or the Beastmaker's world. So we're going to go into the first level, which is of course Misty Bog, which is probably one of the most challenging levels in the whole Spyro franchise, to be fair, because of the enemies. From the exception of treetops because of the long glides and jumps, like I previously mentioned in the last part. So here goes the trouble in Misty Bog. I think Spyro actually does look really nice in this green colour like I'm using right here. I think I might change him just to solid purple in the Dreamweavers. I'm not too sure yet, but I'm definitely enjoying these colour cheats. And the sunglasses cheat, of course, which of course I'm still using, because I only just figured it out the other night, thanks to a friend who pointed it out to me. Well, of course, it wasn't actually her who found it, it was another Twitter user, however, who pointed it out to me, and I've been using it ever since. And I'm actually pretty impressed that I've got the sunglasses cheap, because I actually like Spyro in his sunglasses, like in the ending cutscene, 100% ending of Spyro the Dragon. So I'm actually happy that I managed to find that cheat, so I can play with him like that all the time. I just wish that he'd keep the sunglasses and colours on in the cutscenes, which unfortunately is not the case. And of course the way I tackle these trees is to take them wide, because I'd say they can be a real pain in the ass to defeat these trees right here. So if it wasn't for the trees and frogs, this level would be much easier. However, it's the trees and frogs that make this level really tricky, so
be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
he is one skinny dragon. I actually used to prefer the dialogue to that in the original Spyro the Dragon, where I used to go, "This used to be such a nice swamp." Unfortunately, that is not there anymore. However, I wouldn't say that it's actually bad, but it was definitely a lot better in the original. So of course, tackle these wide, and then I should be able to charge all three frogs, of which charging frogs is a very tricky task. Although they seem to have actually made the frogs a little bit easier in Reignited, so... Because I say in the original game they were real hard to deal with, but they're actually a bit easier now. It's mainly these other Norks that can be which can make the chat a bit more challenging, but if it weren't for these Norks here, I think this frog bit would actually be pretty easy.
Thanks for releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age.
Oh no!
Why? I remember...
Gotta go!
As I may have previously mentioned in my in a previous part of my Let's Play series of this, I think I might have mentioned that, correct me if I'm wrong here, if you've previously watched my videos, that Spyro Year of the Dragon is my least favourite Spyro game out of the trilogy. I still love it, of course, but it's my least favourite of the three, so it's order from best to worst. I'd say 2, 1, 3 for me. However, a lot of people say that the first Spyro the Dragon is the least favourite, because a lot of people think that the levels are pretty barren and bland, and there's not as much objective. Yes, I agree, all you do is collect dragons or rescue dragons and collect treasure and rescue some eggs, but I wouldn't exactly call the levels bland, because I mean, especially with the amount of detail they put in here in Reignited, and especially I thought the levels were detailed as well in the original game, I think there's plenty of areas to explore in these levels, like this level on Treetops proves pretty well.
Thank you for releasing me.
Oh yes, another one of those dragons. What I say is, look at this, I mean, that's just beautiful. The waterfall, the bamboo. Definitely done a great job. This game sort of like turned me against Insane Trilogy, because you might hear me complain quite a bit in my Insane Trilogy playthrough about how this game does better, but to be fairly honest guys, I am not biased. I'm just that guy who likes to enjoy things. I'm not exactly a critic. Unfortunately, this game didn't get the best of reviews in the media, but I'm not particularly bothered with that, because I mean, it's just Spyro. I mean, I love Spyro, I love Crash, so I couldn't exactly care what the reviews in the media are saying about them, so to be fairly honest guys, that's all what really matters. Well, it's all what matters to me anyway, but I'm sure that's all that matters to other people as well, and that's actually a pretty good attitude to have in my opinion, so there's a return home portal here, but we're not of course going to do that yet.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro! Stamp them out and squish them and squash them!
How about charge them and flame them? We are dragons after all.
Yes, charge them and flame them is the attitude, Spyro, because as I say, you are a small dragon, so at least you're putting it to good use. And believe it or not guys, that's actually the cutscene that they showed in one of the early demos of Spyro Reignited Trilogy, where they actually showed you one of the dragons being rescued, which is of course from Misty Bog. So that's actually pretty interesting if you don't already know that. So we are missing 15 gems. Which of course have to be down here, so there's a 5 gem here. Oh, you've got to be joking, I've left 5 gems back there. Ah, I think I know where I've left it, where I missed one. Ah, I missed that all the time. Well done, Marcus. So now we can finally return home. And we can move on to Treetops. I'm going to be like really sorry about this guys, but I think this part's going to be quite long. Because Misty Bog Treetops are pretty long levels. I mean heck, we're nearly into 10 minutes already, so. And that was weird how that ball just died. It just sort of like dropped dead in front of me as I come out the portal. That was pretty weird. So here goes the Treetops, which is probably the hardest platform in the game, but I should be used to Treetops by now, because despite being hard, it is actually one of my favourite levels. Although it can be pretty tedious at times. I really like the camera angle it's giving me here, where I'm looking at Spyro just from straight on. And it goes really nice with the green background and green Spyro as well, so. So what I do is I take the enemies out in the top part here first, and then I go to this left passage here. Which as a kid I actually never knew that this passage existed. I always like wondered, where's this last dragon? I managed to like find all the dragons as a kid, but I just missed this last one, and it turned out to be this way in Treetops. So. And I am not doing too well, probably because I'm talking too much instead of concentrating too much on the game, so. take these enemies out again, and hopefully I shouldn't have too long to go before I can get the supercharge done.
Greetings, Spyro. For an amazing tour of the treetops, don't just stop at one supercharge.
I say treetops is quite a fun level to explore. It's just, it can be pretty tricky if you don't know how to supercharge properly, which fortunately I do, but I never used to, so I used to find this level pretty frustration even to get to the end without 100% in it, so I'll get this first supercharge part done here. Which I should be able to get to this far island, yep. And now I'm about to rescue a dragon that actually has a point, that he could have found an easier place to get stuck, so let's hear him out.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
And he's right. So I'll just check there's no gems left on here, which is good, because I don't want to be having to supercharge over here again. So once again, thank you for having the gem finder in Spyro 1. And that was not supposed to happen because I wanted to supercharge that chest, but I'm not going to be doing it this time, so I've got to go round again. I'll say this is not exactly a level you can complete in a specific order because you're bound to screw up at some point and you are going to have to backtrack. Not that there already is enough backtracking in this level as it is. But serious, I do think in Reignited Trilogy they've made treetops a beautiful place. I mean, like the cosy atmosphere inside these trees here. With all the woodwork on the wall and the torches. As well as all the far distant views. So of course I'm going to open this chest. Which of course is in an area I haven't done yet.
Spyro, if you jump at the end of a supercharge ramp, you can really go far.
I'm all over it.
So yes. So I should have nearly completed the level. All I've got to do now really is just go back to that island that I tried to supercharge through and break that last chest. which was actually easier than I thought, and it were only 10 gems, so... Oh, I know where the rest of the gems are missing. Oh crap, I've got to supercharge to up there, haven't I? And I thought that whirlwind was not going to appear then. I may not be talking in this section so much because as you probably know, treetops does require a pretty high level of concentration. Which, if any of you have actually played the level treetops in the original Spyro game, you'll probably understand, so. Because it's definitely a level on the challenging side. As pretty as it may look. So what you've got to do is you've got to supercharge onto this ramp here. Supercharge all the way up. Which, interestingly, the supercharge charges up when you're not running on speed ramps. Which is something that didn't happen in the original, but I do sort of see it makes sense. Because I'm not too sure if the mechanics work like this in this game, but supercharging, I think it seems to just activate, and then you can build it up on pretty much any terrain. Supercharge ramp and that, so 100% treetops done finally. So now we can move on to another boss, which is probably one of my favourites, and that's Metalhead. Although he is pretty easy. So hopefully I'll be able to get the skill point in that as well. Just like I did in Dr. Shemp, so... Here's Metalhead. And I get hit straight away, which is... I'd say the most challenging part of the level is these enemies here that boot other enemies, well, smaller enemies. I'm not exactly sure what these enemies are called, so... I've probably made a bit of a fool of myself here, but... Basically these guys boot the smaller guys onto you, so... You've got to like dodge them. Which can be pretty tricky. Although a supercharge should work. Or a charge. I keep mixing charge and supercharge up. I'd say if anything the most dangerous part is the banana throwing. Because you'll get pelted when you're not expecting it, so you have to... Sort of like trying to flame chests and other enemies, but you've got to like dodge them, so... Although in reality I should be taking them out first if that's the case, so... Oh, that close to me. Another part of the mission I like as well here, this level, is this hidden area here. Which is actually quite well hidden off, so if you don't know it was there, it's sort of like very easy to miss. Which I believe is where you get the key to unlock the chest later on in the level. It is. But I think I've done a really good job with the castle theming as well in this level. I don't know what you guys think, but I seem to think that each Spyro game seems to have a bit of a theme to it. I seem to think that Spyro 1, like I'm played here, seems to sort of like be medieval-esque. Whereas Spyro 2 seems to be like more modern world. And Spyro 3 seems to be more like enchanted. Sort of like have that enchanted ring to it. I could be wrong. Well, that's what I've always thought like each Spyro to look like. especially from the original games. Because I know they've changed one or two things up in Reignited, but they still seem to all have that theme into them still.
Metalhead is all charged up to meet you. Attacking the power pole should disrupt his power supply.
So here we confront him himself. Which I really like what they've done to this room here. They seem to have made it darker, and he seems to be getting more of a glow now off these, like, I don't know, nodes for the power supply. Would you call them? Especially this here with these. That's just brilliant. I never saw a route like this in the original game. It was just a plain white room, to what I remember anyway. Also the ceiling lights, the wall lights, the rocks in the cave. Toys of Bob have done a really good job. Oh no! I nearly had the skill point. Crap. I hate it when that happens. I say at least skill points don't contribute to 100%, but I really wanted that skill point. No! Never mind. I thought it was green, but it suddenly changed red. I swear that weren't flashing. I'll probably watch the video back and it was, but... Oh jeez, my heart. I nearly had the skill point and I've lost it. Right, here's another area where I think that they've remastered the PAL version. No, the NTSC version of the game, not the PAL version, because in the NTSC North American version of the game, the gems and the chests are over here, whereas in the PAL version, which is what you have over in Europe, they move them chests that you see in there to over here to make it easier. However, to be fair, I don't exactly find that jump to be that hard, although it probably was harder in the original than it is in Reignited. But I think it did take a couple of attempts to get it, so hence why they moved it, because obviously the PAL releases are released a few months later. So obviously America got their version of this game much earlier than we did. And I'm missing 2 gems, which are down here. Why am I missing so many gems lately? I just think they mix so many vibrant colours into this game we end up missing the gems. So that's 4 worlds down. 1 to go. Well, you can say 2 to go because I'm actually going to call Nork's world an extra world as well, so... So here we go.
Oh, I feel much better now that so many dragons have been rescued. Jump in the balloon and I'll show you the Dreamweaver's world. Are you ready to go?
So off we go to the Dreamweaver's world, which is another one of my favourite worlds in the game. You know, this magical theming and magical character to it, so... That will be, of course, in part 9, where we do the Dreamweaver's world. I think it's part 9, yes, it's part 9. We do the Dreamweaver's world. I've recorded so many parts of this Let's Play in a row, I've lost count on what part we're on, so... That's just typical of me. So here we are now in Dreamweaver's, with its beautiful pink sky. I've just got to stop a minute just to take in the scenery right here, because Dreamweaver's is sure a beautiful world, especially in Reignited Trilogy. So apart from that, I suppose I better wrap this up because this part's been long enough. There's part 8, so I'll see you all in Dreamweavers in part 9, so thank you all for watching, and please of course remember if you like the video to like the video of course. Actually literally click the like button, and of course feel free to comment if you have any questions or anything like that, and subscribe if you want to see more of this, so I'll see you all in the Dreamweavers world in part 9.